Welcome to Rightside Radio. It's Freedom Friday. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And maybe you see something behind JP.
I can't see. You haven't turned your camera on.
Everybody.
Sorry, I had to turn my light on first.
Well, it was a kerfuffle just getting things together, but it's somebody's birthday tomorrow.
Aww.
Who?
It's yours, JP.
JT.
Or PJ.
You're going to be what? How old?
100?
23.
23.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm scooching over,
to
Allison.
be 23.
Tomorrow's my MJ. Actually, tomorrow's my LeBron day.
Is it
It's
you?
my LeBron year.
Why do you say that?
No, Bronny.
No, it's MJ Day.
Okay, I'm fine with either.
Okay, all right.
It's way better.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
JP.
Do you feel, I mean, this is funny coming from me, but do you feel old?
No, not really. I mean, no. I don't feel like I act like other 20-something-year-olds, but I don't feel old. No.
I'm glad you,
you
don't
think
feel
you
old.
act old, but your
Yeah.
body doesn't feel
No,
old.
I don't physically feel
Okay.
old. No.
His music list says he's real old.
Yep.
You're
It
way older than me.
It was a Pink Floyd night last night. So
Was it?
Of
Oh,
course
wow.
it was.
Yeah, you're an old soul. Well, we're certainly thankful for you.
I'm thankful for y'all.
And
Do we want to
know.
do cupcakes now?
what do you want to do? It's
We either
your
gotta-
birthday.
We either got to do it to start or end the show. Can't do it in the middle.
Oh,
It's a good point.
I don't know. I think Abs and I are going to have to sing happy birthday, and I
Yep.
might need a little bit of time to finish my caffeine before we get into that,
Yeah.
because it's going to be tragic.
Oh, wow. I may sign happy birthday to you.
I cannot hear.
I think maybe we'll do it at the end because we're a little, just a tad bit older than you. And if we have sugar and we crash out, you guys, it's bad.
I didn't think about that.
So maybe we're just going to leave the set beautiful with a bunch of candles and your beautiful cupcakes.
Those will look good.
And we'll starve until then and look forward to we will have cupcakes on the air or going into break, but it's going to be closer to the end of the show.
Which one are you going for? Are you going for vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry?
Clearly, you don't know my strawberry love as much.
Okay.
Of course, strawberry.
I just had to ask. I mean, I don't assume anything in this life. I don't assume you're a boy or a girl anymore.
Well, then I'll tell you,
That'll
I'm a
get you
boy.
canceled.
Okay.
So now
that's
that
good.
we
Good to
can
know.
we can move on. I'm a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're glad to know you're a boy. We're glad to know that tomorrow's your birthday and we're happy you're with us and part of the team. This is a thrill. I have a fun question, but before that, you guys, we have Susan DeBose on the show today and basically a legislative preview, even though session started this week. We have Derek Chin, who is running for, drumroll please,
State auditor.
and
Really important.
it actually
job.
is, and I had no idea
Yeah.
it was. And then we have this whole, a jam-packed show, JP on sports, perhaps we'll make it to Clown World. And then there's this story, you probably have heard this word bandied about, NED. And Republicans voted for NED, and others are outraged. And when we talk to you about NED, perhaps you already know all about it, and this will be a reminder. You may be outraged. That's all we'll say. Okay. There. Now, here's the question for y'all to kick us off today. Okay. We're going to go around for each of us. This applies to first, we're going to ask JP and then we'll ask you. It's going to be a rotating question.
I don't follow directions. Well, what if I want to go first?
Here's the question. If you had to find JP in a crowd without saying his name, what would you yell?
Oh,
That's a good question.
Isn't that a good question?
I gotta think of what the answer would be. What would I respond to?
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all
Wait,
say your
I
answer.
wait.
I
No,
know.
we need to answer
No,
for
yes.
Jay. Like
Yeah.
But
you and
yeah.
I need to say.
But I gotta
and then
think-
you can say.
I gotta think of what my answer would even be
Okay.
as I would respond to.
Okay, I would say I'd probably just yell fight, because he loves to fight.
do I?
Slap, tortilla slap, slap fight, MMA, or I might yell free monster.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
get you
would
running.
yell, AJ.
That's good.
What would you? What do you think you turn your head to?
I don't know. It'd probably be like it'd be like, I don't know, an obscure noise or something like that. Free monster. Where? Cheesecake.
Yeah, there
yeah.
you go.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody, Jenkins from Sneed, said he would yell, "Hey, bearded bald bro."
That's good.
Matthew from Trinity says he'd yell, "Just right side radio."
That's good.
That is
That's
good.
good. Okay. If we had to yell for Allison in a crowd,
This is such a great question.
what would we yell?
I'm so scared.
Hmm.
I hope your dad doesn't call in or text in. And
You go first, Amy Beth.
this is so
h-
good.
That's hard.
Big Al.
But that, well, I would respond to that. I would. That's
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Who do you? Trump,
Oh
Okay.
no, I know what I would yell.
because you didn't get to talk to him last time. Jared did,
me. Yeah.
and I think I'd
Yeah.
yell, but I would yell it so that you'd look at me, Trump. Like
Yeah,
that.
I would definitely turn around for that.
That's
I got
there
my
are many
answer.
other things like I'm not gonna say.
I know what you're thinking. Okay, JP, what would you yell?
Is that Shabuzi? Turn around.
Okay, done. You got me.
That's
Which
good.
Jenkins was on my train of thought. He says, "Yell, quote, free Big X to plug tickets." Okay, now for Amy Beth.
I got it.
What?
If we're going with the free, we're like just yell free puppies,
Oh,
It's true. It's so true.
chickens
Yep.
over here.
Yep.
She would come running.
Yeah, I would. That's 100% true.
Or
Sourdough.
coffee.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
all of these. Yes.
yeah.
I would.
Actually, if it were me personally, and I needed you to know it was me, I would yell French 75,
That's
and
exactly.
you would totally know
I
it was
love
me.
you so much.
Yeah.
I almost said that out loud. That was what I was going to say, and then I
Yep.
was like, well, I don't know if I should say that, but yeah, if you
Oh,
yelled French,
sorry,
75.
I did.
No, I was
Yep.
like, because that's what I would really yell for you. I'd yell French 75,
Yeah.
and I'd probably hold my hand up with a drink in it, because that's our favorite little bev.
That's a really good question. Did y'all have, like, Jared, my husband, my kids? I can't do the whistle. I don't know what it is,
I can't whistle.
but Jared has a whistle.
like-
Yeah.
It's a. Yeah, but it's not. It's different. Like, it's very distinct, and it goes up and down, and we all know it. And I mean, you stop what you're doing and you find the whistle
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
ASAP.
My mom has a whistle like that. She knows how to whistle because she used to have to call her pets in, and there's
Yeah.
that whistle. I can't whistle.
I can't do a loud one. I can do like a
Can't
like that.
This is why I'm loud. I would just yell.
It's not working. It's maybe the lipstick. I feel like a 3-year-old.
See, this is the same trying to chew your first stick of gum, and your mom's like, "Here's how you blow a bubble," and you can't blow it because you're like,
Give up.
can't do it.
That
Okay,
that's so much air in that whistle.
Nobody use this microphone.
and then
we're gonna
did
give this one to
you- Hey,
Susan.
does Jared like do the?
No,
like-
he doesn't. It's
My
not
mom
a
could
finger
do the-
yell.
It's so
No.
loud.
It's something distinct. Like a. I don't know. It's like all.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, no, the shavers can't whistle. That's not our Holy Spirit gift. We don't know how to do that.
My grandmother, she would loop it like this,
That's my mom.
and
She
it
could-
would be like
Yeah.
a death whistle, like whoosh.
yeah.
How does
Yeah.
that work though? What
Like-
do you?
I
What do
don't
you
know the
actually?
physics of it.
You're
blowing through.
When she tried to teach me, you put it under your tongue, and you leave a little hole
Well,
Like, yeah, I could never do it, but that's how she would do it.
I
I can't
put my hands in my mouth.
That's
Nope.
gross.
Can y'all gleek?
Yeah,
That was
I can
Gleek.
gleek, but not on purpose.
Yeah. You know where you no. Like where the little spit comes out from underneath your tongue. Or I don't know
Like
if
the
it's a-
boys do in 7th grade
Yeah,
to
I
get a
don't-
girl's attention. You gleek on a
maybe
girl.
that was just our
Yeah.
generation.
like little, like you're sitting and they're behind you, or they'd like spit at each other, even in the hallway. It's basically spitting at each other
No.
gently.
You probably didn't.
It's gross.
It's like a little water fountain.
It's
What
disgusting.
the
Anyway,
heck?
You do it
No.
sometimes if you're eating something sour and you don't mean to.
And it just,
Okay.
Oh, no, I
wow.
don't.
You,
Did not grow up in
I
the
did not.
80s.
no, you didn't.
Fine.
Okay, it's fine.
Because he's 23.
I turn 23 tomorrow.
We're old.
Well,
Or older.
Yeah.
Not
it's,
old.
it's
Yeah, we're not old.
basically, guys, it's basically JP's birthday show. So we're going to have a great day. We're going to have great interviews, but mainly
Cupcakes.
we're going to have cupcakes. We're moving toward cupcakes whenever we say ready break. I don't know when that is, but today is a great day and we're happy to have a birthday all day long on the air.
Do we want to start practicing?
Yeah.
Happy. Okay. Happy birthday for such a simple song. It's really hard to stay on pitch.
Yeah.
Is
Do
it?
you have a pitch
Yes.
pipe? Do you have a little?
I got
I'm
nothing.
going to sign language, or I'm just going to
Oh.
write it out. I'm going to rapidly write it out like some people paint at
Okay.
parties. Happy birthday, JP.
I'll sing. You do interpretive dance.
Like they did on the floor of the Missouri Senate.
Oh my.
It's like
did
in
they
the
do?
office with the banner that just says, "It is your birthday." Period.
Yes, that's what we're looking for.
I almost brought you that. I'm just kidding.
Pretty good.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We got a short segment, and then Susan DeBose will be with us at 2:30. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So, did you guys see, and listen, and the 3:00 hour, we will kick off with the montage for the rest of this hour. As soon as Susan DeBose gets here, she's going to be on at the 2:30 segment on. We'll talk to her about what's going on in the legislature, and also got a couple of questions, some throwback questions for her. Did you guys see, though, the meeting between Giorgia Meloni and the Japanese prime minister?
No.
Trying to envision that.
That, she's the Japanese prime minister is that new conservative female. And to see them meet together, it was a moment when I was like, boy, I wish I spoke Japanese. And I kind of wish that they would have just put a translator at the bottom of this so I could see it. But it was a moment to see conservative women leaders who were not feminist, crazy pants, blue hairs. They were just great women that you're like, these are our new Margaret Thatchers. This is who they are. But it was a moment, and I wondered if y'all had seen that on the X.
I did not see that.
Pretty cool.
Well,
also, they looked cute.
I love Meloni. She's
awesome.
Did her and Elon
based.
ever go out?
I never knew about that.
I think there were some sparks. Of course, I don't know if he ever met a spark he didn't like.
Yeah.
Apparently. Did y'all see Ashley St. Clair is losing her mind?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Elon is trying to get custody of the baby. And what did she do? She
well, I saw she's suing X for allowing a bunch of deep fakes of her to go around and go viral. That's what I saw. I don't know what you saw.
She was talking about, she was something crazy about, she said something about Elon's transgender child. And so then it was just but she was on CNN. And she used to be, y'all remember that calendar that came out? The, what was the name of that beer?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
That beer.
The one that Riley Gaines was on the front.
Yeah.
Not Happy Dad. Anyway, it was the right wing beer that came, and she was in their calendar. They did like a swimsuit calendar as like a very, very conservative, but she looked weird. She looked like a liberal. She was not acting right. And I just wonder, like, something got a hold of her. It was weird. Poor Elon. He gets himself in some messes. But anyway, the Meloni, what's the Japanese?
Her name.
It's always refreshing when you can see not crazy women conservatives.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you're right. That's a great point, because you think Ashley St. Clair used to post regularly good content on X, and she was an influencer and looked like she was going somewhere. Now she looks like she's going out of her mind.
She is losing it.
Versus we get some women to admire. Everybody does. But as a conservative female, two people that are excellent that we can admire and appreciate for what they've done. I mean, that takes a lot in this world when you look around. And it was a whole moment. But can I ask an Elon Musk question?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How many kids does he have? And is it true that they all live on the same street? He has a compound, and I
would say, is it 12 or 14?
Somewhere around there.
And
it's 14.
Okay. So,
14 known children.
Yeah. Ew. I mean, not for the babies, but like, how many moms?
This is kind of like, what's the other guy? Nick Cannon.
Yes. Okay, so Elon just has 4 mothers.
4 mothers. Okay.
For 14 kids.
So he kind of likes them for a while. That's good. I mean, you got 9 months, so like there's some time in there.
Note to self, just don't get with him, okay? Make him marry you first.
I mean,
what happens.
If you were the richest man in the world, I feel like a lot of people would do the same.
They would fling themselves at you. That's just the way it is.
I don't get that, though. He's kind of a goober.
He's a goober, but the richest goober.
Yeah, but that money wears off real fast.
It's true. Kind of like we were talking earlier.
Like we were talking earlier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's like it seems really cool, but
and you're like, wow, what a
then you go to dinner and he starts balancing forks and you're like, I'm out.
I'm
this
sorry.
is weird.
My mom called and we need to wash my bike.
Or if you're me, I'm probably like, well,
Yeah,
how'd you do that?
I'd just be like, I'd be staring at him.
Oh, yeah. Until you go on the date with the right one.
That video is so funny though, because he's like sticking it in the face of like everyone around them. Like, look at that. Look at that.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll follow both stories. One of a girl who's losing her mind and two women who aren't.
Hey, that was good.
That was a coffee.
Nice bow. Speaking of women, we're going to go grab one more. JP, I'm sorry.
I'll sit over here and drink my coffee.
We'll be back with Representative Susan DuBose.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio as I adjust my earpiece. Sorry about that, guys. We are delighted to be joined by Representative Susan DuBose from House District 45. She has been a leader, and you probably already know this because y'all are paying attention, especially in defining what women are. You don't think you have to define it, but apparently you do. And a leader on that and so many other issues. And so we are so happy you're here. Thank you for coming today. We
Thank
have a
you.
lot of questions, but a short amount of time, so we're just going to get right to it. Session started this week. What are some things that are on your wish list to get done? And we'll just take it from there.
Yeah. Well, we hit the ground running. You can already kind of feel the intensity because it's going to be condensed. We're going to squeeze all of our days in. Our 30 days that are normally spread over 105 days, we may spread them in 90 days or 60 days. We don't know, but we're going to be in session at least 3 days a week instead of 2. So you can just feel, it feels rushed. It's fun. We've got a few new legislators and 2 new women that are already in, and one female that's, waiting in the wings to come in when she has her general election. So that's kind of fun because we always share a special group. There's not enough women, and the few of us that are there are sort of, we have our own little group. So that's fun. But as far as legislation, look, we're going to see a lot of education stuff because Terry Collins is not going to come back. She's not going to run, and as education policy chairman, I know she has a few things she wants to finish up, and I want to work with her on some issues that I feel like if we can collaborate, I can get them through this year. One of them is teacher prep programs. I think we need more accountability there. And we want our teacher prep programs to actually be preparing our teachers to teach. We want them to pass the exams. We want them to have the proper testing and credentials in order to teach. And look, we need to make sure that they're passing those tests and that they are getting a job and staying in the state of Alabama. So there's just some accountability that we want in line there. I want to review the curriculum. I want to review the mission statement of every college prep program. And then I'm looking at higher education. That's where my real concern is. And I'm looking at having an accreditation opportunity for all of our higher ed schools. Right now, they're all forced by our state law to be a part of SACs, which I'm not a big fan of. I think there's any accountability there. They accredit programs that have the lowest pass rates you've ever seen.
Oh, goodness.
20% of the students might pass in a 6-year period. I don't feel like they're really holding our colleges accountable. And there have been, I think, at least 10 universities that have opted into this commission of public higher education. And I'm really impressed with that. And I would love to see our Alabama schools joining in on that one. So the legislation I'm passing will give them those opportunities.
So when you talk about teacher prep, what does that look like? Is it a more rigorous program? Like, what does that mean for people who are hearing that?
Yeah,
for the
so that's
first time?
actually our university programs that teach our teachers how to be teachers. And I want to make sure, for example, in Auburn, are they teaching the science of reading, which is phonics-based reading? And we know that's what our teachers need to learn. Are they leaving out that 3Qing technique, which is a technique that does not even work? Have they eliminated all that crazy, woke, DEI, social justice curriculum? That's a waste of time. Our teachers need to know how to teach kids to read and how to do math and how to do the basics. We want them focused on what we know works. And I'm not sure that that's going on in all of our universities. And what are their pass rates? And then our students enrolling, for example, at Auburn, I heard from one parent that her daughter, who was qualified to get into the elementary education program, simply didn't get in because there weren't enough spots. Maybe they only let in 60 kids, but do you have 80 kids that want in? Are there some programs that we need to adjust? So, and looking at mission statements and curriculum helps us see if they're on the right track.
A few years ago, I was, I know this is shocking. I was the PTO president at Oak Mountain Middle School for like 4 years.
Oh, I can totally see that.
Yeah, I don't, it's funny. I never decorated a door in kindergarten, but I'm going to go be PTO president. But about the time, that was probably 8 or 10 years ago, teachers were starting to get a lot of fatigue in the classroom with all the paperwork, all the testing, all the requirements. And you kind of started seeing some of those teachers that have been around a long time heading out, maybe retiring a little early. How is Alabama doing in terms of getting and retaining teachers? Is that, I know with bus drivers, I know there's a bill because there's issues with bus drivers, but how is that going in recruiting good teachers?
It's still a challenge. And I think one of the challenges is that we have been vilifying the teaching profession by saying they're overworked and underpaid, and that the profession is look, that profession should be honored. It's a fabulous profession. And honestly, if you start looking at the pay and the benefits that a teacher receives,
Right.
it's really good. But teachers don't know that because the AEA has spent so much time telling them that they're underpaid. But if you look at a college graduate and say you compare a teacher to a nurse or an accountant or a social worker or any of these other fields, they are right there in the middle. And they're only working 9 months out of the year. And they get a defined benefit plan that they don't even have to pay taxes on. And they get insurance practically for free. And, there's so many benefits. And it's wonderful to only have to work 9 months of a year. But if you're not making enough, then you could do something else for those remaining 3 months. It's can be a fabulous profession. And I do think there's work to do. We need to cut back on that crazy amount of paperwork and let them focus on teaching kids. And I'd love to see us continue to do that. But I still think, even as it is, it's a fabulous profession. Our teachers should be honored and respected.
I think you mentioned the AEA, and one of the very first shows we did, we talked about taking AEA money, which has always been this weird suggestion rule in the Republican Party. You can't take. What are your feelings on that? Can you, because there are a lot of legislators that I respect that do take AEA money. Can you take AEA money and not do the bidding of the AEA?
You probably could. I never would. I have no desire to have a penny from the AEA. I get along just fine with our representatives, but let me tell you that Amy Marlowe, who is the president of Alabama AEA, is the bane of my existence. She speaks out of both sides of her mouth. She's a hypocrite. She's called me out by name without even bothering to ever speak or introduce herself to me. I've never seen her in Montgomery. I would love to speak to her in person. I'm coming up with an op-ed that's going to be out any day now that really promotes our school choice and counters every single negative thing she has said about our school choice. I just got a one-pager in from our Alabama Department of Revenue. Amy's contention is, for one, that our private schools are too expensive and the school choice money isn't enough to cover it anyway. But you know what? You know what the average cost of tuition is for our school choice parents? What would be your guess?
I want to guess.
Yeah, 5,000.
I was going to say 8.
5,600. That's $7,000 more than covers tuition and fees.
Yep.
So there are plenty of schools out there that the school choice money can be used for. And then they'll say, oh, it's a waste of the taxpayer dollars. You know what? It is the best spending of taxpayer dollars it is. It's far cheaper to educate a child with school choice money than if they're in the public system. We spend $7,000 per kid that goes to use school choice money. Yet if they're in the public school system, it's way over $10,000. There's some school systems that have up to $16,000 per child. So the reality is it's much better use of the taxpayer dollar. And then talk about special need kids. You know how many special need kids are using our school choice program? There's 23,000 students that are using school choice this year.
That's
Guess how
I
many?
cannot believe that number.
Yeah.
By the way, it's amazing.
You know how many of them are special needs, which they thought would never use school choice dollars. They didn't think there would be a one.
I like the guessing games. Hold
yeah,
on. Let me
I
guess.
know.
Okay, out of the 23,000.
Yes.
Okay, you want to go first?
248.
Okay.
1,000.
So 10% of them. So
What?
over 2,300, I think it's 2,600 actually is the
Stop.
number special needs students that are using school choice programs. Because that was one of their excuses. Oh, all the more expensive kids to educate are going to be stuck in public schools.
God,
No,
awesome.
you know what it
That's
is? They
awesome.
found a better place to go that fits them. So
Mhm.
Mitchell's Place,
Yes.
they're in my district, and I talked to them about school choice, and they signed up to be a vendor. So now students that have autism can go to that fabulous program and use those use those school choice dollars to get an education there. So, Amy Marlowe, I cannot wait to respond to your op-ed where you called me out in February of 2025, because February of 2026, we're going to see the real results of our school choice numbers.
I can't wait.
Susan, before we go to break, I need you to just tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
I do have a hard time about that. Yes, I do. Nobody ever knows where I stand on that issue.
I love you.
Nobody
You
knows
just
where I
really
stand.
Just, hard
so
to
funny.
tell. No, this is so refreshing. I'll save my question for
Yeah,
when we
we'll
come
have to
back.
go to a break. But it is one of the best things. Like what I love, we can disagree on something, but be able to stand behind your convictions,
Yes,
and defend them instead of relying on someone else to tell you in your ear what you should be thinking or should be doing, and wishy-washy. But y'all really don't want to miss it. We'll be back more with Susan DuBose and kind of what else is coming this session. Stick around.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Happy to be joined by Susan DeBose, who will hopefully come on one of our podcasts in the next month or so, because there's so many questions we have about education, also about your story, which we may get to today. I'm just developing a list, and it's just rolling through that you're just the perfect person to dig in with about what's going on, because I think this is the first time people have ever heard that we need to look into the rigor of the teacher prep, teachers who teach, like knowing that we want to go back to phonics. We know that works. To hear you say that, I feel so encouraged for the first time in a while, because we've done the whole language learning. We've done the weird, just weird stuff since the 90s. And to get back to what actually works is fabulous, knowing there's choice out there. So real quickly, what else is on the docket for y'all? What else are you excited about that's coming up? And maybe what else are you really fighting for?
Yeah. So I love the tough on crime bills that we're talking about. And Governor Ivey mentioned some of those in her State of the State address. So I don't know if y'all talked about that yet, but for example, the law that Matt Simpson and April Weaver are working on, which would provide the death penalty for rape cases for children under the age of 12.
Amen to that.
Yeah, we talked about that, and we were like, how is this even debatable?
There are some
Why is this not a
things-
thing already?
Yeah, some things that you can do to somebody that's worse than death. And I think that's one of them. So I think that we're going to get that passed. We're looking at tightening up on Anaya's law. If y'all remember when we passed that, that was to limit parole or bail for our worst felons. And there's a loophole in that we need to tighten up. So now we are requiring what they call a pretrial detention hearing for every violent criminal that commits a Class A felony in which a death occurs. So it's not going to be allowed to be waived anymore.
Good.
Those cases are going to have to go before a judge, and a judge is going to have to rule whether that individual that committed this horrific crime is eligible for bail. So it really holds our judges accountable for their decisions, and it makes it come before them. So I like the tough on crime laws. I like the laws that make sure only citizens vote. I hear this from the people, my constituents. They want to make sure that that continues. We want to protect the integrity of the vote. We did pass the bill, which is an audit in every precinct. Every time there's a vote, one precinct in a county has to have an audit. Honestly, I think we could probably make it even tougher, but at least we have that. So that's important. Look, the public needs to know that their elections are safe, and we need to improve the accountability to the public.
Can I stop? I want you to keep going, but I'm so curious. Wandala Gavan, who I have a love-hate relationship with because she's so stinking funny and entertaining, but she drives me crazy too. But she came up to the well yesterday and was talking about how she's gonna have a lot to say about that audit bill. Like, why would you not be in favor of a post-election audit, no matter what side of the aisle you're on? What are you hearing from the Democrats?
Yeah, that went on. I couldn't believe it. That debated for about 2 hours yesterday.
Wait, are you?
No, that was our very first bill that we addressed when we opened up for the first time.
She loves to do
It
that.
went on for 2 years. Yes, Wandalyn was up there. I tune her out. I don't pay attention to
2
a thing
hours,
she says.
not 2 years.
I'm sorry, 2
It
hours.
felt like 2 years.
It felt like 2 years.
Hours, you guys.
Yeah. So I honestly, common sense doesn't. There's just no. We even were saying this. Why is this going on?
But did
This is
she
such a
have a
common sense
reason?
bill.
Like, did she ever get to the reason
Well, they
why
try
she
to
would?
say they think it would be a waste of money. They think that our elections are safe, and why would we want to waste the taxpayer dollar on an election audit? Which,
I
yeah.
have so many reasons why.
yeah, the public needs to know that our elections are properly counted. We should be accountable for what we're doing, and I think we do a very good job in the state of Alabama. And it's not that I'm opposed to what's being done. It's just that I believe in transparency and accountability to the public, and the public should have confidence in our elections.
Yeah. I don't. Do you do an audit when you own a business just to go back and check and make sure? I mean,
Of
yes.
course.
Do you
course.
audit and balance your checkbook
Yeah.
every month in your family?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. I mean, well, you should. I don't get it. Real quickly, because we say that, will you come back and do a podcast with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
'Cause we
fun.
can cover so many things. But lightning round, anything you want to talk about? I'm curious about gambling. Is it going to come back up?
I don't think it's going to come back up, although we hear crazy things like there could even be a special session for gambling after
Please stop.
after the primary.
Okay.
I don't see that though. I
After
don't
the
see
primary,
that.
of course, so they can all get reelected.
I just don't see that at all. I just don't see that happening. But I'm not on the inner circle. So
What about the obscenity in front of children bill? Like, is that going to go through?
I doubt that will come up this year. They have been very clear that controversial things, although the audit bill turned out to be controversial, but they've been pretty clear that controversial issues won't come up. But we are still fighting libraries that refuse to follow the APLS code. They just don't want to. Like The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
That's an adult book. That book was written for adults. There's no reason that we should have to keep that in a teen section or move it across the hall to the adult section. That's not banning a book. That is not censoring a book. And I'm tired of the way they have changed language. The left has changed language to change the definition of words in order to try to justify these ridiculous claims.
Well, the left can't even tell us what a woman is. So
They still can't.
I mean,
Yeah. What's her name? Kanaji Brown.
LGBTZ.
How does she
Brown
get to decide
Jackson.
when she couldn't tell us when she was confirmed?
Yeah. And now the statement is, well, I could, but we just don't need to define it. There's just no need to define sex or man or woman. So that just kind of is their cover. So instead of actually defining it, they just say, oh, there's just no need.
It's fun to watch them stumble though, because
is.
they know, like you can see it on their faces and hear it in their voices. They know they're stupid and what they're saying sounds stupid.
Yeah.
They just
It's true.
won't admit it. Okay, Susan, thank you so much for being here. It's always fun. Always
I loved
fun.
it. And y'all
Yeah.
are doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
I love
Thank
what y'all
you.
do. I love your openness too. And, it just makes it fun to watch and learn. I always learn something when I'm watching y'all.
Well, you're welcome back anytime. We'll schedule a podcast. All right, we'll be back after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. At 3:30, we have a friend coming in, Derek Chin, who's running for state auditor. But until then, we finally have a really, really good montage for you today, discussing a subject that's mind-boggling. And again, conspiracy theorist.
It's not Thursday.
It's not Thursday. I'm just going to say you're right.
It's Conspiracy Theorist Friday.
Conspiracy Theorist Friday, aka Every Day for Allison.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I'm just asking questions.
I'm just
obviously asking questions.
Oh,
we need to
my
have
goodness.
a moon landing segment.
Did y'all? Oh my gosh!
And
did
me
you
and
hear
Allison
that?
will debate.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You know what? I'll
Why haven't we
moderate.
done it again?
Can I, like,
Why
gabble
haven't we
in?
done it again?
Like that. We'll moderate.
Amy Beth can be the guys.
Yeah.
Get out of control.
I'll turn, sir, ma'am. We'll do the rules for debate and we'll time it out and y'all can present your case. It'll be great. Okay. JP, take it away.
Earlier this evening, the U.S. House of Representatives voted on a measure to defund the National Endowment for Democracy. This is, make no mistake, a leftist enterprise. Leftists everywhere are free to contribute to it if they choose to do so, but hardworking Americans shouldn't be forced by their government to contribute to causes that they find repugnant. And yet, stunningly, 81 Republican members of the House of Representatives voted with all the Democrats tonight to keep that funding stream going.
The head of the organization says we were created to do. It would be terrible for democratic groups around the world to be seen as subsidized by the CIA. That was discontinued after the disaster of the 60s. We've lost the capacity, and that's why NED was created, to be the bagman for the CIA. I don't mean to get stuck on this, cutout phenomenon, but if they can get away with this, they can get away with anything.
Imagine if that city or that town was suddenly invaded by thousands of federal agents that do not share the values that you hold dear. Imagine if your daily routines were disrupted. The local cafe that you eat at was shut down because they're scared that their own family might get torn apart. Imagine if schools shut down and suddenly parents got to figure out what to do for daycare.
With the situation, two shootings here in 1 week in Minneapolis, are the protests going to stop? Because ICE says they're not leaving.
We aren't leaving either. We're staying out here and we're fighting until they're gone.
Did y'all see the rest of that clip with Fry and the police officer where he tells people to start fighting the police? And the chief's eyes, he's like,
Yes.
and he tells that police officers to start fighting with ICE and federal agents. And he's like, oh, shoot. Anyway, so I hope maybe things will start to unravel a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just included that clip because he pretty much just described the illegal immigration situation. Can you imagine if all these people came in and didn't have your values, didn't have anything in common with you, and they just invaded your community? It's like, you mean like the Somalians in Minnesota?
And imagine that you are too foolish to understand that you just told the truth.
Right.
I mean, like, exactly. You're spot on. But then that you don't even know what you just said.
Right.
It's embarrassing.
Well, I know we need to get into the National Endowment vote, but I just want to include those two clips of the latest in Minnesota because it's not getting any better. It's kind of ratcheting up a little bit. So
I actually enjoyed the length. I liked a little bit more on each story.
Mhm.
I thought that was really good. Bravo.
Thank you.
Do y'all know about NED?
I don't know as much as the origin of it. I know what it turned into, but I don't know much of like why it was even begun.
I knew it started during Reagan, the Reagan years, I think 1983, but I had to use the Googles to see officially what it would say. This is hysterical. This is what Wikipedia says. The National Endowment for Democracy, NED, is a quasi-autonomous non-governmental organization, or according to others, a government-organized non-governmental organization. A gongo.
A gongo.
Literally says gongo. In the United States, founded in 1983 with the stated aim of advancing democracy worldwide and countering communist influence abroad by promoting political and economic institutions such as political groups, business groups, trade unions, and free markets. Okay. What the Hale County is a government organized, non-governmental organization? I think we need James Lindsay.
I think we do. So the NED was created under Reagan. You are right. In the Cold War, to project soft power.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
Against communism.
Right.
Now, this is going to blow y'all's mind for the non-governmental governmental organization. That it is the communism. It's attacking national leaders abroad, labeling populist authoritarians, even branding Trump himself as a threat. It's a democratic op with your tax money. Listen to this. This is from August 31st of last year. The price tag for NED, y'all guess. Guess.
I mean, I would have I don't even know where to start.
Million or billions?
Million. It's millions.
500 million.
750 million.
Okay, it's less, but it's still a lot. 315 million a year. Your tax dollars fund groups publishing things like The Problem with Whiteness, global LGBTQI plus awareness, and unionizing foreign workers to punish U.S. companies. So Congress tried to cut the funding earlier than right now. This is from August. And then obviously lobbyists swooped in, and there we go. But last night they tried to cut it again and they couldn't. But it is basically going out and weaponizing and saying they're to help disinformation and provide good information.
Right.
It's really not different than under COVID, weaponizing what we believe in and using it against us, which is what all good communists do.
Right.
It's just basically a communist organization.
Let me read this real quickly. This is interesting because this is in Wikipedia. It says, upon its founding, the NED assumed several former activities of the Central Intelligence Agency. Political groups, activists, academics, and some governments have accused NED of being an instrument of U.S. foreign policy helping to foster regime change.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a lot like USAID. Except USAID wasn't a gongo. It was just a part of the State Department where this is a gongo. It's not really a difference, but it looks better. It's not an official arm of it's like what Mike Benz was reading of. It would look bad if it was directly funded by the CIA. So we're going to make it look like it's funded by this group with a good name, the National Endowment for Democracy. That sounds awesome. Where it's really just the CIA doing regime changes, like you said.
Yes.
So it pretty much is like a USAID 2.0 vote for us to defund.
Yes.
And Mike Lee said 81 Republicans voted to continue funding NED.
Right.
I am stupid, and I apparently have not learned my lesson in life. I falsely made the assumption there's no way any of our congressmen from Alabama voted to continue to fund NED. There's no way. And boy, was I wrong.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because I looked up the votes to get rid of USAID. Oddly similar.
You're so smart.
What?
So the only two members of our delegation in Alabama that voted to get rid of USAID was Barry Moore and Gary Palmer, which if you're listening, hat tip to you. But Mike Rogers, no. Robert Aderholt, no. Dale Strong, no. Also Jerry Carl was a no. And Terry Sewell was a no. But the main ones that bother me are the so-called conservatives that voted to keep USAID and to keep the NED. But they run around puffing their chest about NPR, PBS. I got rid of those, but
I mean,
yeah, it doesn't add up.
So just one more time. Who voted from Alabama? Who voted to keep this, just for fun.
To keep which one, USAID or NED?
NED.
Let's see. Let me go to the NED vote.
The latest who's not a conservative vote.
It was Robert Adderholt,
Mhm.
Mike Rogers, Dale Strong,
Okay.
Shamari Figures,
Okay.
Terry Sewell.
Right. So pretty much almost the same as the USAID vote.
The only ones that voted against it were Gary Palmer,
Okay.
and Barry Moore.
They get the award for the week.
Right.
But what what are they for? Okay, you're for global censorship. You're for that. You're for crushing populism. You're for overthrowing foreign governments. You're for fueling color revolutions. Like, you guys are for that, and you're pretending. Weren't some of those people also on a list of people who made an odd amount of money from stock markets last year?
I don't think they were on that list. Not the one that I read, but who knows? But I don't, and maybe we're missing something. There's 81 Republicans, so maybe we're missing something here. But, and I don't know, maybe one of the three of them would come on the show and tell us why. And it's exactly what I was telling Susan DeBose. Like, and I think it was during the break, but I'm like, what I love about Susan is we might disagree on an issue, but she is going to do her research and stand behind whatever stance she takes. So I'm curious, can Dale Strong, can Robert Adderholt, can Mike Rogers stand beside and publicly, would they come on a show like this and defend their vote to continue spending your money in countries and on initiatives that you hate and that hate you? I mean, regime change and what did you read? All the crap.
LGBTQIA plus awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, insane stuff.
And you call yourself a conservative. I mean, at some point, and then the USAID vote is all the same. The three of them voted to continue to fund USAID. So either they're not conservatives or they're beholden to some lobbyist or some group that is making them vote this way. Actually, or they want to fund these things. That's the other option.
Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything. I think these are just neocon Bush Republicans, and I think they believe in these organizations. But what just makes me mad is that this is why Republicans always snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, because of votes like this where they say one thing but they vote for another. And I'm just using the NPR PBS rescissions as an example because that was such a small amount of all of the waste that Doge found, like over 100 billion, and 9 billion of it has only been passed. And just how loudly they were like, which by the way, I'm for defunding those, but they were so loud about, I'm a conservative, taxpayer money will not be going to these woke organizations. It was so easy to sell. But if you're actually going to be principled, the same reasons you defunded those, then you'd be voting the same on these, but they're not. So I think they knew all the eyeballs would be on the NPR PBS one and it'd be easier to sell, but then nobody cares about NED, right? Just vote. And they just need to be called out and like, come on, explain yourself. But it's just frustrating because I guarantee you, if Trump came out and said that he was against it, they'd all vote for it. Or they changed their votes because Trump said it. But it's just annoying.
Do we have I think I only have one of their contacts.
I would like for Gary to come on because he'll tell us about fraud, waste, and abuse. But I don't understand, after years of telling us we were crazy for thinking the CIA was doing secret ops in other places. And Reagan said, well, this is so that it can be out in the open, blah, blah, blah. But like Mike Ben said, this is created so that it can be the bag man for the CIA. Now we know that's true. Like, guys, for those of you who thought we were crazy during COVID or any other things that we were called conspiracy theorists about, and it turns out we were right. We're right about this too. Surely the CIA wouldn't be involved in those kind of things. They were. So either we need those guys to come on the show or ask Gary about it, because you're not a conservative at all if this is what you're for. And that is so disappointing. But you're right. I guess I was surprised too. And I'm disappointed.
I don't think, you always have to be careful when you jump on the bandwagon with some of these things. Like, when everybody was going after Mo Brooks for voting against the NDAA. They're like, he hates our military. No, he didn't want to draft your daughters and he didn't want red flag laws, And so I don't think we're missing anything like that, because generally the people that voted against funding it are the ones that I trust, the solid conservatives. But I don't know. I mean, come on and defend yourself. I think we need to reach out and see if they will. We'll see. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll have some more quick news. And then at 3:30, we've got state auditor candidate Derek Chin coming up. We'll see you in a minute.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. JP, apparently we have some texts, so let's get to it.
833-687-4448 is a text line number if y'all want to let us know your thoughts. First of all, we got, let's see, we should start here. Scott from Athens says, what I've learned after some GOP had a Doge hissy fit is never look a gift rhino in the mouth.
It's good. You're right.
We also got Chris from Huntsville. He said, were there actually people who didn't think the CIA was using dark money to run operations around the world?
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, I forgot to tell y'all what I watched last night. I'll tell you some.
No, go ahead.
No. Keep going.
Well, the other text, so we have a rebuttal to Susan DeBose. Richard from Madison says that he has two major issues with what DeBose said. He said, first, teachers work 10 months per year, not 9. That also doesn't include other parts of education, such as grading, AP exams, summer tutoring, etc. And then 2, insurance for a single person is fairly inexpensive, but family insurance premiums are just as expensive as corporate business insurance premiums. Please do not mislead your listeners with this narrative. Signed a 28.5-year retired teacher.
Okay, explain to me what he's saying about insurance. What's he saying?
He's just saying that I guess that reading insurance for a single person is fairly inexpensive, but family insurance premiums are just as expensive as corporate business insurance premiums.
Oh, okay. So she was saying insurance. Well, their insurance is really, really good insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that, and I don't know. There's 2 takes on that. I do know that regardless of the money that teachers may or may not make, 9 months, 10 months, insurance, whatever, teachers do not feel supported.
Mm-hmm.
It is all about the students and everything. All the students get an excuse and all the support, and the teachers don't. And I think that's the real problem, honestly. All right, we got to take a break, and then we'll be back with Derek Chen.
welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP rolling through a Freedom Friday, and just covered a little bit of news. Before that, we sat and talked with Susan DeBose. Now, as promised, we are joined by Derek Chin, our friend who is running for state auditor. And we'll have to pretend like we don't know you. But we
Wait,
would
why?
Well, we're not. I'm kidding. We're not going to do that. So for people who don't know you, we would love for you to tell people who you are and what motivated you to run.
Yeah, so if it's okay with y'all, can I just tell y'all, your viewers, a little bit about my family background and my
Yes.
family history?
Yes.
All right. So about 100 years ago, there was a really bloody civil war raging on in China. And I don't know if I've actually told y'all this story before, but there was a really bloody civil war raging on in China. And it was between the communists led by Chairman Mao and the nationalists led by General Chiang Kai-shek. Well, my great-grandparents fought in this war in Chiang Kai-shek's army against the communists. But as the communists started taking over large areas of land in China, General Chiang Kai-shek and his military retreated to the island of Taiwan. And so my grandparents were little kids at the time, moved to Taiwan, and they grew up on Taiwan, on the island of Taiwan. And my parents were born in Taiwan. Now, fast forward to the late 1970s, President Jimmy Carter's administration decided that he wanted to switch diplomatic ties from Taiwan's government to the communist Chinese government. So when that happened, the folks on the island of Taiwan thought that the communists were about to invade them. Some of your viewers might even remember this, but even going to present day, the conflict between Taiwan and communist China is ongoing. But it all stemmed from this war that happened around 100 years ago. And but in the late 1970s, when folks thought that China, the communist Chinese, were about to invade the island of Taiwan, everyone tried to get out. And my grandparents applied for visas to come to the US and had to wait several years for their visas to get approved. And they finally moved to the US in the early mid 1980s. And when I was a kid, I always wondered, why did it take them so long to move to the US if everyone thought that the communists were coming? So when I was a kid at a family gathering, I asked my granddad, I said, "Granddad, if everyone thought that the communists were going to come invade y'all," actually, I think I said you guys. I didn't pick up y'all until a little bit later. I said,
because you were living in communist California then,
that's
right?
right.
Okay,
Yes,
that's what you always say. Okay.
But I never forgot what my granddad told me. He said, "Yes, we were scared. Yes, we were afraid. But what kind of example would I be setting for my kids if we broke the laws of our new country in order to get here? We had to wait for our visas and we had to do it the right way." And so that's something that really always stuck with me. So my family settled in communist California, where I was born and raised. I was born and raised in Orange County. But from a very, very, very young age, at the ripe age of 3 years old, I knew I could not stay in California.
Really?
I did.
What happened to you?
And I knew this because I found out when I was 3 years old that I was a strong conservative Republican.
What precipitated that knowledge?
And so I knew this because when I was 3 years old, the 2000 presidential election was going on between then Vice President Al Gore and then Texas Governor George W. Bush. And my mom had the debate between those two going on in the family living room. And every time Al Gore's face popped up on the TV screen, 3-year-old Derek would jump up and scream, "I don't like him."
That's good.
So I always knew I was a Republican. And so fast forward to, it was time to go to college. I grew up in California. And when I was about to graduate high school, I moved to Michigan to go to college at a small conservative Christian liberal arts college called Hope College. And while I was at Hope College, I was chairman of the College Republicans, and I was chairman of the College Republicans during a very, very interesting time, and that was the 2016 presidential election cycle.
Mm.
And many of your listeners may remember when Donald Trump first came down the escalator in Trump Tower and he gave his announcement speech for president of the United States. Well, I was listening to that speech, and this was going to be the first election that I was legally old enough to vote in.
Mhm.
And after I heard his speech, I knew that I was going to be voting for Donald Trump in the 2016 Republican primary cycle. So I've been a staunch Trump supporter since he first announced for president back in 2015, and have remained a staunch Trump supporter since. And a big, big part of that is I think President Trump is the only candidate that I have ever heard that was able to efficiently and effectively articulate the problems that we have with illegal immigration in our country and how it's important. He puts his focus strong on supporting legal immigration while combating illegal immigration. And he's done such a good job in both his first term and now in his second term of combating illegal immigration in our southern border. And I am a very, very big admirer of President Trump.
Mm.
So we actually probably met you 4.5 years ago during COVID. I was starting local Alabama.
Yes.
You were just you came to Birmingham to go to law school, correct?
That's right. So while I was at Hope College, the president of Hope College at the time used to teach at Samford University before he became president of Hope. And I was part of student government, called it Student Congress, at Hope College. And I was at the president's house, and I had a conversation with the president, and I told him that I was interested in going to law school. And he said, Derek, I have the perfect school for you. And he said, I used to teach at that school. It's called Samford University. And I said, well, where's Samford University? And he said, it's in Birmingham, Alabama. And I was like, Birmingham, Alabama? I've never been there before. And he was like,
Did you say it like that?
no, not
I've
yet.
never been there before.
And I was like, and he said, well, you have to go visit. So I came down to visit, and I absolutely fell in love with Alabama, and I absolutely fell in love with the school. And so I actually only applied to Cumberland
Wow.
for law school. And shortly after starting my studies there, I knew that Alabama was where I wanted to spend the rest of my life, because in no other state in this union can you get such good barbecue.
Do you have a favorite barbecue joint?
Yeah, I really love Archibald's, and
Okay,
I'm
yes.
so happy that Archibald's has a new location in Birmingham, because sometimes I probably shouldn't confess this, but sometimes I would order before they had one in Birmingham, I would drive to Tuscaloosa and pick up the order.
Would
Oh
you
my
really?
I
goodness.
would.
That's
yes.
commitment. That's commitment. I love it.
Well, but when we met you, you
Mhm.
were still in law school, I think, or you had just
Had you just graduated?
I think I just graduated at the time, and I was getting involved
in the party.
in
Yeah.
the party and Eagle Forum.
Yeah.
And got to go to many of y'all's events at local Alabama. And I just really have appreciated y'all's friendship so much throughout the years.
Well, I was laughing when you walked in because I remember we all went to lunch and we were all doing very different things. I don't even know if running for state auditor was on your radar. You were just getting to know people in the party. But what I loved about you is you jumped in, and it seems like you're someone that when you commit, you're committed. So committing to auditor is no small task. Why
Yes.
did you decide to run? And really, and we'll have to go to break in about 3 minutes, and then we'll have about 10 on the other side. But
Okay.
real quickly, like, why did you decide to run?
Yeah, if y'all don't mind, let me just go through briefly the duties of the office. I think that would be very helpful. Oftentimes when I'm on the campaign trail, folks don't know that what the state auditor does, or many folks don't even know we have a state auditor that's elected.
Right.
So the state auditor has several duties. One of the duties is the overseeing the property inventory. So think computers, think desks, think drones. Maybe have y'all been following a little bit of the Chinese drone phenomena that has been going on in our country?
What you mean over the past few years, or is there another invasion?
The past few years.
Okay.
There has been the Chinese government heavily subsidizes drone production, and they send their drones over to the US, and it's largely through a company called DJI. And many of your listeners have probably heard of it or are aware of this situation, but they're sending all these really cheap drones over to our country. And if you go to the store and you're looking at drones, the price of an American-made drone versus a Chinese-made drone, there's a huge price difference. The Chinese-made drone is much cheaper, and that's because the Chinese Communist Party is actually subsidizing that. And they're not doing so out of the kindness of their hearts. They want as many Americans to buy those drones as possible, because all of those drones can actually be backdoored back to their database in Beijing. So they're using it to spy on Americans. And so one thing that I really want to put my focus on day one as Alabama's next state auditor is the auditors in charge of overseeing property in our state, the state's property rolls. And I think that I will pursue a complete and total ban on Chinese-made drones and their component parts from the state of Alabama's property inventory.
Wow. I mean,
Crazy. You don't even think about that.
No, but how diabolical and genius at the same time. So don't buy any Chinese-made drones.
But they're
Just
cheaper.
saying. They are.
But they're cheaper, Derek.
I don't want to be spied on.
Well, the thing is, President Trump has been really putting his focus really strong on the federal level in combating this threat. And, he signed an executive order last year, and he is really putting his focus strong on making sure that we develop innovation here in the United States so that we can get our costs of domestic drone production down and also innovate. And so he's really focused on that on the federal level. And I think we need to do something on the state level, and I'm committed to doing so as your next state auditor.
All right, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, kind of talk more about what you want to get accomplished as our next state auditor. We'll be back with Derek Chen.
I mean, sometimes the caffeine kicks in and we can't hear each other. These are the best sound canceling headphones I've ever had. Okay. Amy Beth, she's Allison, he's JP. We're with Derek Chin, who's running for state auditor, talking about some of the duties of a state auditor, also tackling that some people don't even know we have a state auditor and how important that is. Also, don't buy Chinese made drones. What else are you responsible for in your office?
Yeah, so there's a couple other duties that are really important, and one of them is the appointment of registrars in 66 of the 67 counties in our state. When I'm on the campaign trail, I tell folks that they always ask, well, what's the one county where the auditor doesn't get a registrar appointment? And that's actually my home county of Jefferson. And that's just because of the way that Alabama law is written. Jefferson County appoints their own registrar through their own process, but in all other counties in our state, the auditor gets a registrar appointment. And the registrars are very important officials in the state of Alabama because they are the only folks authorized by Alabama law to add or remove anybody from the voter rolls. Oftentimes, folks think that the Secretary of State's office is in charge of maintaining voter rolls, but that's actually not the case. It's the registrars. And it's really important that we get strong Trump conservative registrars on in those positions that understand the importance of election security, election integrity, and understand that only eligible U.S. citizens who are residents of the state of Alabama should ever be allowed to vote in Alabama's elections, period. That is so critical.
Derek Chen, do you now hereby agree to never appoint a libtard to any board of registrars in those 66 counties? Yes or no?
Yes, I am only committed to appointing Trump conservative registrars that understand the importance of the rule of law, because it is so important. It's the free and fair elections are the cornerstone of our constitutional republic, and that's so important. And another really important duty of the auditor's office that really isn't talked about is the auditor actually sits on the state of Alabama's penny trust fund board. And so
what is the penny trust fund board?
The penny trust fund board is in charge of overseeing investments, public dollars on behalf of the people of Alabama. So it's really important that we have folks on there that understand the importance of the wise use of taxpayer funds, and that have the business acumen and the investment judgment to be able to wisely invest public dollars. And I believe that I'll be able to be an effective member of the Penny Trust Fund Board, overseeing investment of public funds on day one with my law and business background.
Just do you follow Nancy Pelosi on? You can just follow her investments. That'd be great.
Yeah,
she does really well. So our current state auditor, Andrew Sorrell, who was running for Secretary of State, has announced that he qualified. Has he already qualified to run as state auditor? So
that's my understanding.
Yeah, I didn't know if he had actually qualified, but he is dropping back to run now against you. You and Andrew are friends. As he's running again as state auditor. Has that changed your strategy, or you just got a plan and you're going?
You know, one thing that I have learned in my short time in politics, I'm not a career politician. This is my first time running for public office. Been active with the party, been active with helping other campaigns, but this is my first time seeking elective office as a candidate myself, because I think it's really important that we have citizen servants that want to participate in the process. But in my short time in politics, I've learned that, you can only control what your campaign is. And we have a campaign strategy, and we're going to execute that strategy, and we're going to go full force through May 19th for the primary. And as the Republican nominee after May 19th, I'm going to go full force into November and be successful as Alabama's next state auditor. I'm committed to doing so. We've traveled all across the state. And our campaign's momentum has been unbelievable thanks to the people all across the state of Alabama, where our message of government accountability and transparency are really resonating with the people. And I think that it is so important that we stay focused and keep our focus strong, because at the end of the day, the seat, any seat, any elected office in the state of Alabama doesn't belong to any politician, doesn't belong to any person. It belongs to the people of Alabama. And I am committed to doing everything I can to earn the vote of the people of Alabama. And I believe we're going to be successful doing so.
Well said. So we've got about 30 seconds. Quickly, your website. How can people find out more about you?
Yeah, if your viewers want to learn more about me or my campaign, please visit derekforalabama.com. Derek is spelled DEREK. And your viewers can also find me on social media, Derek Chen for Alabama. And I really look forward to getting to earn your vote. And I appreciate all of your viewers, and I appreciate y'all for having me on. Thank you so much.
Great to have you. Yeah, really. We'll be right back after the break.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We've had quite the Friday, truly. Just got to interview Derek Chin. We also had an opportunity to speak to Susan DeBose. Are you bringing those right in front of my face? So I have to look. We have cupcakes, and those cupcakes are coming up.
Actually,
and
yeah, you're right.
You know,
Put 'em
a little bit of time, a little bit when we continue celebrating JP. It's the weekend of JP. We're just kicking it off today. But we have a segment that we love on Fridays, and not just JP on Sports, which is coming up after this, but a segment we like to call Clown World. The absurdities from the week, or not. Maybe it's just stretched out, but there's some bangers in this one. So
this one made me giggle.
We bring you Clown World.
Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was.
Well, the goal is the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality.
Hey, pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me. Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages? And again, not anything that I would have placed so much emphasis on back when he was saying it, but it came to fruition. The other parts, he did die young.
Are you serious?
But Lord said, I want to make a multi-millionaire out of someone, but they have to sow $10,000. He said, and they have to do that within 90 seconds. If you're going to do it, get it now, write the check. If you do this, God said, I'm going to make you a multi-millionaire.
Shame! Shame!
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
Shame! Shame! I'm getting paid right now!
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it. Just the same way.
Oh, that's so
good.
That may be your best one ever.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it.
I'm getting paid right now. I mean, that's the reality. There was one in there. We might have to watch it again because I was trying to write it down, but I forgot what it was.
Which one?
I don't know. That's the problem.
We had the lady testifying, not able to say if a man can give birth.
Okay.
We had Candace Owens calling Charlie Kirk a time traveler.
Okay, yeah. Who were the text messages? She said, was she saying that Charlie said in a text message that he was a time traveler?
Yeah, so her now conspiracy was that Charlie Kirk was a time traveler because he would text her about how like he was a time traveler meant to find her. And he would always like say that he felt like he was going to die young. And there was also a part where apparently he would go on jogs in high school and the light poles would go off as he's running past them. It's sad at this point. It's like deranged grieving publicly. But yeah, that's her new shtick because the Egyptian planes got debunked. She went on another one about how Erica Kirk was visiting a military base like the day or two before he got killed. All of it's been debunked. So now this is where she's at.
Can you say that part again? All of it has been what?
Debunked.
Uh-huh. Okay. And so this is now. He's a time traveler.
What does that mean? Like, I hear it said, like, the queen is a lizard and so is a time traveler. What does that mean? Like Marty McFly?
Yes.
You can jump back and forth.
Yes.
What's your purpose if you're a time traveler? What are you trying? And why in the world would he be looking for Candace Owens?
I don't know. I mean, like...
What? Let me Google this. What is a time traveler?
I mean, so I guess she's just saying now that she's run out of ways to point the finger at somebody else for Charlie's death, I guess she's now... I also don't know what's the point of her saying it. I think this is it's just grieving. Like I've said this from the get-go, like this is her way of grieving Charlie because she can't, as long as she's pointing the finger at somebody else, she's denying that it actually happened. And So she's been completely ruined in terms of her credibility. I think this is the beginning of the end for Candace Owens because she shot up to #1 on the podcast list whenever she was like about to go do her thing with Turning Point. And after it's all been debunked, I think she's dropped to like the 60s or 70s. So she has no more credibility.
She, first of all, I will give her our compassion because it is so pitiful. It really is pitiful. Number 2, and I've said this, we've said this, her husband needs to take the microphone from her and let her go out to the countryside for about 6 weeks or so, just by herself with the kids and him, and snap back to reality, like touch some grass, lady.
Yeah.
Because you've gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And so at this point, if you are following her, then we're going to have to question your view of your reality too. Because that he is a time traveler, like this is Back to the Future or some weird Leo DiCaprio movie, is unbelievable. I'm glad that people have dropped off the rocket ship when she was #1. But this part now, you just want to turn away in shame.
Did she say he was an X-Men?
Oh, that he went to school like the kids did in X-Men. He went to a school for people with special abilities.
Okay, here we go. I don't know who this is. It says she believes, Candace, in the conspiracy that there was a CIA operation called Project Looking Glass that had to do with time travel and changing the future using, in her version, ancient Sumerian technology. The theory is that they could see all different timelines up until 2012, at which point they all converged and none of their technology would let them see beyond that. But Charlie Kirk was an all-powerful being that they believed he was the key to their being able to change the future again. I guess he was a time traveler because he knew he was going to die. This is cuckoo.
I'm so glad you mentioned the Sumerian technology.
Okay, what is
part.
that? What is that?
It's just like ancient.
Sumerian
Yeah.
Okay.
Like ancient.
Ancient.
Yeah.
And the deal is
Sumerian.
And the deal is, if you're a time traveler, the only people who travel through time would be angels or demons. But that's not even traveling through time. That's just, the Bible says there are both and they exist. So you're saying perhaps that Charlie was a demon? I mean,
or a god.
Or a god. I mean,
what would Charlie say about that?
So odd. But I couldn't help myself but send that clip to you because every once in a while we dip in and see what she's doing. But this time, it's like that. Is it Sling TV? I can't remember where you have to give the hard pass, or some TV company. Anyway.
So are they the ones that built? Okay, hold on. Sumerian, is that what you said?
Yes, Sumerian.
Sumerian technology refers to the practical inventions and engineering advances developed by the Sumerians in Mesopotamia, modern day southern Iraq, roughly 3,500 to 2,300 BC. They were first among the earliest urban civilians. And they invented the wheel and the plow.
And a lot of good things.
Okay, but why do they get to travel time? And
because they're the Sumerians, and they decided they're the only ones who can time travel and map everything out and see all the different levels and worlds. And I mean, this is stuff. Okay, JP, I'm going to tell on both of us. This is stuff that in 6th grade, when did you switch over to a Christian high school? High school or middle school?
I went to a private middle school, and then freshman year I went to a Christian high school.
Okay, never mind. So this is the kind of thing you talk about, the Sumerian technology amongst boys in about the 7th grade. You're like, did you hear about that? It's like one of those imaginative things that you're kind of geeky and dorky, and we talked about it.
We were obsessed with the Illuminati.
Because you talked about
like
things
me,
that maybe you
JP.
didn't talk about at other schools. And then you dropped it because you were in middle school.
Yeah.
And you only were trying to quantify what you just learned from history. Not that they were time travelers, any of that weird crap, but they were very interesting. All I'm saying is I need Candace's husband to take her by the hand, lead her to the countryside with their children, and go stay for a while. She needs to get her brain back. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and it needs to stop. And I'm really sorry for her.
They invented the base 60 sexagesimal number system. It's why we have 60 seconds, 60 minutes, and 360 degrees.
You go, Sumerians.
Mhm.
Yeah. So maybe they did. I mean, they seem pretty smart.
Well, maybe that's where Charlie is.
He was the leader.
He's not.
Okay. I'm going to keep reading this during the break.
Before we go to break, you just totally brought back. We were so obsessed with the Illuminati. We would draw triangles everywhere. We'd constantly be like, Illuminati confirmed. And we would we'd have wallpaper in our homeroom, and we would one day we filled the whole thing up with triangles, and my homeroom teacher was like, guys, you've got to stop. Like, Mr. McGuire, Illuminati confirmed. Illuminati confirmed. It's like Candace Owens. Yeah.
You've seen, I mean, they all stand like that though. They all make their
Yeah.
triangles when
But-
they're giving speeches.
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff, okay?
You can't do that though. I bet somebody's going to come get me.
We'll walk you out to your car.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors. You got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And it's that time that we do every Friday. JP on sports.
JP on sports!
The little giggle at the end. Okay, well, it is. Okay, well, first of all, JP on Sports every week is brought to y'all by Inspired Advisors. If you want to learn more about Inspired Advisors, go to www.moneypatternwealth.com. It is Christian conservative investing, so you're not investing in any companies that are against your Christian values. Go check out Paul Breyer and his team at Inspired Advisors. That's www.moneypatternwealth.com. They are the weekly sponsor of JP on Sports. We do have a national championship game Monday. Indiana is looking to become undefeated, but also a Heisman winner and a national championship winner. But I can't just say that it encapsulates the new era of college football that Indiana is now a powerhouse. It's pretty crazy to see because teams, they had no 5 stars or 4 stars on their team. They may have had a couple of 4 stars, but I think it just shows the new era of if you know how to do the transfer portal, if you know how to manage the new era of college football, it's not just recruiting out of high school anymore, then you can just dominate. And it also shows, I think, the guard of old is, slowly starting to fade. We saw Ohio State get bounced early, Georgia get bounced early, Alabama also got bounced early. It's really interesting to see because I got Miami, Indiana in the national championship. I don't think many people would have predicted that preseason. So my prediction, I think Indiana steamrolls them.
You do?
I do, because I think Cignetti is a freak, and he's probably going to win a lot of national championships at Indiana. But it's just, like I said, I think it's just the perfect encapsulation of the new era of college football that Indiana is going to potentially go undefeated, have a Heisman winner, and win the national championship.
They have great gear, so I support that. Their jackets are cute.
Their jackets?
Yeah. So we had a basketball game there, and the Indiana in cursive on the back of their jacket. Best I've seen.
Wait. Did you go to Indiana to watch that?
Well, basketball. So
right.
We were in the gym.
Yes.
It's the most fun
yes.
game I've ever attended. We got beat by Indiana.
It's iconic.
I mean, but this was 3 years ago. I have pictures from. We were in awe. It goes straight up.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. But it's a darling town. Their gear is. I should have bought a jacket because I just should have.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that if he wins, is this the kind of thing that all their top guys are done and go to the draft? Or will he retain some of them? What does that look like in this newer era of shopping teams, getting them? But before you answer that, what's the score going to be?
38-10. Indiana.
Okay. All right. Ooh. Allison, what do you think?
I think it's either going to be something like that, or I think it's going to be closer, like a 38-27, which is not still
where
pretty bad.
They score at the end or something.
Yeah, something like closer. I don't know if it's going to look as bad as it probably is going to be, but it depends on Carson Beck. I mean, he looked really good the last game.
He did look really good.
So,
Miami's not bad.
Yeah, they're
but
not
Indiana's
bad.
really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, another crazy story with the transfer portal. Did y'all see Ty Simpson in the offers that he had to come back to college football?
I think that's stupid.
So if you didn't see, Ty Simpson declared for the draft, but even after he declared for the draft and wasn't even officially in the portal, so this is technically tampering still, but I digress. He was apparently offered $6.5 million to come back by Miami and $4 million to come back by Tennessee and Ole Miss.
For real?
For real. $6.5 million by a team that's still in the playoffs and is now in the national championship. Also, Alabama recruited a running back from NC State who committed to Alabama, enrolled in classes at Alabama, and then decided to take a visit to Texas after this. And after his visit to Texas, he flipped to Texas.
I'm sorry. Are you allowed to do that?
Apparently so. So it is the wild, wild west. I think that is a understatement, but it needs to get under control. Like the Ty Simpson, regardless of the fact that it's obviously tampering, because he wasn't in the portal. So you're not actually allowed to offer players that aren't in the portal technically. That's just a large sum of money. It's insane how much money that these kids are being offered. But the fact that you can go and enroll in classes after committing, and then Texas just calls you and says, "Hey, why don't you come down to our Austin Lamborghini dealership?" But before we get too far down the line, why don't you just come on by Austin, check things out, and then you can just dip after you enrolled in classes. Is crazy. It's insane.
Did y'all see that Archman? Oh, sorry, this is JP on sports.
We got about 30 seconds
Not
anyway, so I'm about
Allison.
done. Oh yeah, I'm done.
Oh,
Good.
you're done.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you said I'm not done.
Oh yeah.
Did y'all see? Was Arch Manning really at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa?
I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I saw a photo of him. That
Did
would be
you
cool.
really?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
If he went to Alabama,
I mean, I don't know how good he is. Who knows? But like that would be a lot of attention.
I'm ready for the Keelan Russell era to start at Alabama. Oh my!
Are
God.
you?
The highest rated recruit. I've been on this guy for years. I've been telling all my cousins, I'm telling y'all, this guy is a stud. Highest rated recruit in Alabama history. I'm ready for that era to start. They can have Arch.
Okay. I trust you because you're JP on sports.
That's true. Brought to you by Inspire Advisors. And we'll be right back on the other side with the 3. And there's some cupcakes I still haven't gotten eaten on the table. So maybe that too. We'll be right back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
to Rightside Radio. Just a few more segments before we wrap up the week that was. And it was quite the week. So many interviews, great guests, great information, great conversations amongst ourselves, and most importantly, great hearing on the text line from so many of you on thoughts about what we talked about. But before we get to the three, where we're going to roundtable some news, we have a birthday boy in the house who will be all of 23 tomorrow. Oh, that's smart, Allison.
Yeah, I probably would have burnt my fingers off.
Can you imagine?
How am I going to do this? JP, I guess I'll have to bring it to you.
I
This
guess
is a terrible idea, actually.
I love the idea.
No. This is not good. I should have taken my ear thing. Hold on. Something's going to burn.
No, we're going to be safe.
All right.
Oh. Happy birthday to you. Are you going to do interpretive dancing?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do interpretive dancing.
Happy birthday to you.
I said I was going to sign.
It's right for the
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Yay. Okay, you get to keep that one. You spit all over it.
Okay, it's yours.
Which one?
Ta-da.
Which do you want?
Whatever you don't
Can
want.
we split the chocolate and I don't want the strawberry. Do you want the strawberry?
No.
What is wrong with you?
Well, we like strawberry, but we like the other better. And we, of course, like the same things.
Oh.
So.
I didn't even bring you a napkin or a plate.
But he's a dude.
Look,
He's a
doing
dude.
with all those.
He's taking off the.
Look how happy he is.
I
He
know.
has asked every single break. Are you sure you don't want to do happy birthday? Are you sure you don't want to do it?
So
he's like giggle.
JP, when is as a kid, what's your first memory of you're eating, so I can't even
go ahead.
ask you that question. What's your first memory of your first birthday party?
Ooh.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One of the first ones actually was all my buddies went to the roller skating rink, which also had a laser tag in it.
Ooh.
And it was pretty awesome. That was one of the earlier ones. My mom also decided to race one of my friends on roller skates and fell and broke her wrist.
No.
So that happened on that one too.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones that I remember in terms of like a birthday party. Another one was since Lenny Acuff hooked me and my friends up and got us to I can't remember what year this was. Got to meet the team in the locker room before a UAH basketball game. Yeah, so that was another good one. The GOAT. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you would say that first one where you're at the roller rink that had laser tag. How old were you?
I was like,
5?
No, I was like 9 or 10
9 or 10,
probably.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before that, though, I mean, we'd always have like at the house with the fam, grandparents and all.
Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite birthday gift as a child that you go, that was the gift? Was it a BMX bike like it was for my husband? What was it?
Almost.
See, my birthday was always right after Christmas. So my big gifts were Christmas presents. I did get like one of those drivable like red Mustangs that's like a little
You
kid.
got one of those?
Yeah, my sister got a pink Jeep and I got a red Mustang of like a like full model. And it's funny as we were driving it around in the cul-de-sac and a cop lived right down the road from us. And as I was driving around the cul-de-sac, he came out with his car and pulled me over, turned his lights on.
That is so cute.
It was great. I love that red Mustang. I drove it constantly. That's probably one of my first
I can hear the
favorite
sound
gifts.
like right now.
He stepped out and he was like, "You know how fast you were going, sir?" Like, no.
Oh, what a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's sweet. Okay. So, all right.
Oh, I gotta tell y'all, I share a birthday with some cool people.
Oh,
I
yeah,
gotta tell
who?
y'all. So, like 3 cool ones and 1 really bad one that I share a birthday with.
Okay.
Benjamin Franklin,
Oh,
Cool.
Muhammad Ali,
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Dwayne Wade, basketball player, another one.
Ish. Cool.
Here's a sucky one.
Oh, dear.
Michelle Obama.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We eat cupcakes in your honor, Michelle, for
Oh.
all the terrible food that you brought into elementary and high schools during your time. office.
She's the reason I'm a conservative, because when she took away my Pizza Fridays and I went home and I was pissed about it, I was like, what happened? They were like, well, there's a new president elected, son, and the first lady thinks it. And I was like, are you serious? So we can thank her for making me a conservative since elementary school.
That's I remember when that happened, because it was the one year everybody was at Oak Mountain, and I used to go have lunch. You know, we would go back and have lunch with our kids, and they were skimpy on servings, and the food looked like prison food.
Yeah.
It was disgusting, except for their little, that was some kind of Mexican situation, little roll-ups, little fried I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. The rest of it, I was like, I'm making y'all's lunches. You're not eating this food. It's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty
Thanks,
bad.
Michelle. It's a lot.
Just got a text, and one of the group texts I'm in, one of his wife is a teacher in Shelby County, and apparently she texted him today to report that the Cheetos at the school, which we have Cheetos again, now do not have like artificial colors and dyes in them.
Really?
Huh.
So we're making progress.
We are making progress.
That's actually great.
There's also a new, you probably don't remember it. Remember the milk campaign years ago?
Yeah, we had posters all in our school.
You
of that.
did?
Got
You
milk?
remember that?
Got milk with the ours was like a football player. I can't remember who, but yeah.
Well, they're bringing it back, and Bruce Pearl just filmed one, but there's a catch. It's drink whole milk.
Ooh, I like it.
Yep.
That's very good.
So we're making some progress.
Because skim milk basically tastes like cardboard water.
As
It
I
does.
take a bite of this,
You know, and
cupcake.
sadness. No one likes skim milk.
No.
It's not even good. It doesn't even do what people say it does. Just eat the whole milk, the good fat, and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all do raw milk?
I know someone very close to me who does, that I shall not say, since our state's weird about that.
They're
for
probably
some
going to get
reason.
arrested. You know, if you buy it, you have to say it's for your animals.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Someone very
That's so
close to
dumb.
me taught me that. And I'm like, look, it's too much trouble to go where you got to go to get it. But what is wrong with us? Are we not one of the fattest states on record? Wouldn't you want people to have things that are good for you, that you don't have to lie?
I don't know what you're talking about. Fattest state.
This is, look,
She's smacking it.
she's having some cookies.
This is so good.
From one of our favorite bakeries in town. Really good. Oh, so good. One of our friends worked there. She didn't give us all the top trade secrets, but we.
I didn't know there were sprinkles in that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get one with sprinkles?
No, it was crunchy and it scared
Surprised
me.
you.
It scared me.
JP. So we only have a few minutes. Does anybody have any stories, or what stories? Not does. I know you do, because we all have basically a million stories on our phone at all times. What stories do we want to share before we go to our next break?
I got one if y'all don't.
Okay.
Y'all been seeing James Fishback, the candidate for Florida governor?
No.
That's like
No.
based. He's been saying a lot of things like he's going to get rid of all the bonds towards foreign nations and reinvest it into a like a first-time home buyer grant.
Yeah.
He's also said a lot of other stuff. He's just like he's one of the first of my generation-ish in terms of the new age of Republican politics, I would say. But he's been really making the rounds. He was on Tucker last week. But this policy he announced is really interesting, and it's actually gotten a lot of pushback from some people. James Fishback has announced if he becomes Florida's next governor, he will have a 50% SIN tax, SIN tax, on all income earned through OnlyFans.
Oh,
I am interested in the SIN tax.
Okay.
Really?
It's that is one of the more interesting policies I've ever heard. But then, of course, like some of the popular OnlyFans people have, one of them tweeted something, calling it out and saying it's bad, and he just retweeted it and goes, keep it up and it's gonna become 100% SIN tax.
Nice.
I dig it.
But I love it. That is it's a creative way to combat, because a lot of our legislatures and a lot of our elected officials are so out of touch with like my generation and the issues we have, and degeneracy being mainstreamed is one. So that is one that speaks so well to like my generation and a lot of conservatives want to see stuff like OnlyFans get, put on the fringe and make it harder. It shouldn't, like a 50% tax. Make it to where at least people think twice before, I don't know, selling nudes on the internet. So I'm all for it. I love it. I'm all for James
That's
Fishback.
great.
Mhm.
I do too.
There will be some discussion though, because on one hand, the libertarian in me, which if I wasn't a Christian, I'd probably be a libertarian, but can't
I was there
do
too.
that because I'm kind of like, why does it have to be the government that regulates that? Shouldn't our hearts, our families, our churches, our morality, just the positive peer pressure of society, like, can we not handle that ourselves? But I mean, you can't just go open a brothel. You can't just go, there are barriers to entry for a lot of things. So why is that different? People will balk at that, but I'm not sure they should. I'm gonna have to think about that.
You have to go check his other policies. Like first of all, you'd be amazed of how much bonds Florida has with Israel. It's insane,
Really?
like millions. And he's vowed to put all of that into a first-time home buyer grant, which is like that. And the one I just read is genius and speaks to my generation. So we'll see if Fishback can beat Byron Donalds.
That's interesting. Yeah, because Byron is turning out not to be who I think he is. Surprise, surprise. So I appreciate his effort at, I wonder what kind of church he goes to. That'd be interesting to find out. Because the one thing that we can do, and I've never heard anybody come, I mean, I'm sure it's been an idea before, but to tax that, I like what you said about degeneracy, and it is mainstreamed, especially in a place. We lived in Florida. People don't really like clothes there. They just wear their swimsuits around basically everywhere. So it's a different mindset, but the law tells us what we can and can't do because it is our guide. And I think that though with taxes, using that as well, it's an interesting thing to try. Because that could tell us what we can and can't do, because then who wants to pay all of their money,
Agreed.
because you've been taxed. That's interesting. I will look into that, but I also want to find out what kind of church he goes to. I have a sense.
I do too.
Huh. Okay.
Any of y'all got quick stories?
Mine is not great, but I'm just going to let everybody know that Mark Carney, who was part of the World Economic Forum trainees along the way, I guess they're all at Davos, and they're, he's just out there with his New World Order comments, and the guy sitting next to him when he's making the comment about, and we're going to be a New World Order, kind of looks aghast a little bit. So just keep a lookout on Mark Carney. He's a bad dude, and he's aligning himself with whatever China and Russia want.
Canadian Prime Minister, right?
Yeah, he's a Canadian Prime Minister. He was, and I'm going to have to go double check myself, I believe at the Bank of International Settlements, which basically runs all the things because that's where all the money goes and flows. And it's in Basel, Switzerland. So watch out for this. Watch out for what he says, and watch out for him. He seems to be an all shucks kind of a boot, out in a boot.
In a boot.
So the New World Order talk is back. It's rip-roaring again. It's a little terrifying.
New York City, didn't they outlaw hold on. I'm skipping around, but didn't they outlaw the big gulp?
What is the big gulp?
Big gulp.
yes.
Like you can't buy like the 32-ounce soda anymore. If you can outlaw the big gulp at the 7-Eleven, you can put a tax on porn.
Yeah.
Like, come on. We shouldn't even
That's
debate
good.
that.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. And Mark Carney's a biscuit. The only thing I have is that yesterday, the Alabama, and I'm going to do my video today on this because I cannot even read the excerpts of this book that was up for discussion at the Alabama Public Library Service Board of Directors yesterday. The Fairhope Library has refused to move. This was from The Life of a Wallflower. What is that? What is it called? The Life of a Wallflower. Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's it. And this is a book that is in the children's section. And Chairman John Wall, who's also the chairman of the Republican Party, read an excerpt from it yesterday during the board meeting.
Oh my Lord. It was bad.
It's bad. Okay. And if as an adult, you feel really uncomfortable. Like I wouldn't even read it on air. And we're gonna put it in the clip. Just know if you click on it, if you follow us on Rightside Media, you'll see it. It's gonna start playing. So don't do it at work or whatever. It's not pictures, it's just John reading from it. Y'all will be appalled, but I think it's really good to hear because there are people that were fighting to keep this in your children's department. Luckily, the board voted to continue to defund the Fairhope Public Library because they will not move. It's like 14 books to the adult section. It is graphic. It is like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Ew.
You know, kind of stuff.
Ew.
And I mean, well, anyway, we won't get into that. I never read it. I don't know if it's comparable, but I'm just saying it's not something you want your 10-year-old reading. So good on John Wall, Amy Minton, Cassandra Stevens, and there was one other person that voted to defund them because they just won't take porn out of the children's section.
So when you sent it and you were like, obviously we can't play the video, I went and listened. I was like, maybe there's a little bit I can play in the montage. And when John started talking, I was like, I gotta shut this off now. I'm gonna throw up. It was gross.
It's bad.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to do a whole thing on that next week. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, quick segment on the other side. Would you rather? We'll be right back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Trace.
Oh, we're back.
Hi, how are you? I would like to tell you that I would rate my vanilla cupcake a 10 out of 10. And I haven't tried the chocolate. It's also going to be 10 out of 10. And JP,
Yep.
How about the strawberry cupcake?
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Okay. Yep.
He's
Okay.
the best ever.
Best
Yeah.
strawberry cupcake I've ever had, for sure.
Aw.
That's so nice. I'm so glad you liked it. We'll have to have a meeting at that location, Allison Sinclair.
We
Yeah.
can do that.
Mhm.
Do you know where it is?
No.
Okay.
We'll tell you.
We show you.
It's so close, it's dangerous. We'll put it that way.
True.
Okay.
The wheel. Would you rather have access to all human knowledge instantly or the patience to learn things for yourself slowly and deeply?
Slowly and deeply.
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't handle it if I learned everything all at once. My head would explode.
No, instantly.
Well, why?
Then you can just move on and do something else.
But
What would you do other than that?
You would apply your knowledge.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
You know how to make pie crust. You can go do it.
That's good.
It was
okay,
also
okay.
all human knowledge, like all human. Can you handle that? Like all at once?
Yeah. Then we'll go to the moon actually for once.
Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna do the next question real quick. Would you rather face your biggest fear once or be slightly afraid of it every day?
Oh.
Oh, you mean, oh boy.
Oh, that makes me. What is your all's biggest fear?
Snakes.
Snakes or like, ooh, wasps?
Height.
I'm not going into like one of those big
bungee
wasp
jumping?
nests in like Asia where they're like,
Yeah, no. No.
Well, I mean, no, I think that's a rational fear. Mine would probably be claustrophobic. Like,
heights is another one for me.
Getting locked in a coffin and you're
Oh.
alive.
oh,
Yeah, that's I don't like heights.
like yeah, I don't either, actually.
Wow. It's amazing we get anything done.
Okay, so like, do you want to be buried alive once, or do you want to have to just be like put underground for a minute every day?
Yeah,
Basically.
Every day. Yeah.
You'd go every day.
Every day. Let me encounter.
I don't want to be buried alive.
No,
What
you
if I
would
don't get out?
anticipate that every day. You'd be like, the anxiety would be overwhelming.
I need to noodle on that.
All right, everybody think about that this weekend. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. I about said War Eagle. I don't know why, but War Eagle. See you Monday.
You're listening live